Welcome to the Life Curation Podcast. I'm your host, Andrina Tisi. Together, we will explore thoughts, inspirations, and conversations that feed our soul, spark the mind, and nourish the body. Thank you so much for being here to learn and grow, and for walking this journey called life with me. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for tuning in today on Christmas Day. I truly hope that you are healthy and happy and that you are enjoying a peaceful time over the holidays. For many, we are not celebrating like we normally do. And on one hand, that can be less stressful. On the other hand, it can be a little bit more lonely and maybe a little bit more unsettling and maybe even sad that, certain year-long traditions this year are not able to happen. I was thinking that as we probably have a little bit more time on our hands than normally, I thought I'd share some of my favorite books. And I do have more on the list, so there will be for sure a part 2 and probably even a part 3 coming in the future. The order I'm introducing the books is completely random, and just so you know, I'm not being sponsored to make these recommendations, so they're just books I do really love. And in the show notes, you will find the links to the books as well. So let's get started. First off, we have What I Know for Sure from Oprah Winfrey. What I Know for Sure is a beautiful, small, cloth-bound book packed with insights and revelation by Oprah. And it's organized by theme: joy, resilience, connection, gratitude, possibility, awe, clarity, and power. And even after reading it fully, I have it on my nightstand, and I like to randomly open a page to get some really good night wisdom. And I really love it. It's also a beautiful gift for somebody. Then as a second is The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. And in German, it's Die 40 Geheimnisse der Liebe. And I actually listened to this book during the lockdown in the spring while I was remodeling my balcony. I redid the floor and I just had this beautiful story in my ears and completely loved it. So I loved how this book takes two stories that are told at the same time and how one influences the other. Through the main character, Ella, we learn about Rumi and his relationship to his teacher, Shams of Tabriz. Throughout the story, we learn about the essential Sufi wisdoms that Shams both preaches and embodies. He inspires Rumi to become the poet he was meant to be, and one of the world's most passionate and profound voices of wisdom. So I really learned a lot I didn't know about Rumi. Similarly, we see how this story also inspires Ella to change her life. So it's not only a happy story, as there are costs to living an authentic life. But as the novel shows, the costs of not living one are far greater. So then number 3 is City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert, and the title in German is the same. And Elizabeth Gilbert also wrote Eat, Pray, Love and Big Magic, which are also two wonderful books. City of Girls is set in the 40s in New York City, and through the eyes of the 19-year-old Vivian Morris, we get to experience the entire cosmos of unconventional and charismatic characters she meets and the experiences that come with it. Now, in the book, the 95-year-old Vivian tells her story, and she recalls how the events of those years altered the course of her life. The book is really packed with powerful wisdom about human desire and connection. And I loved diving into this story, and I really felt I was in New York City, which, you know, it's a little bit home for me as well. So then, next up, there are actually 2 books, but they're by the same author. And the first one is The Café at the Edge of the World, and the other one is The Big Five for Life. And they're both by John Strelecky. And in German, it is Das Café am Rande der Welt, and The Big Five for Life is the same in German. So, in the book The Café at the Edge of the World, the main character, John, he finds himself stranded in a cafe seemingly at the edge of the world and is faced with these 3 questions on the menu. And they go, why are you here? Do you fear death? Are you fulfilled? And with these food for thought and the guidance of 3 people he meets at the cafe, John embarks on a journey of self-discovery. And of course, we as a reader go right along with it. And the next one, The Big Five for Life, will enhance the way you look at your role as a leader. And that includes the way you lead at home, at work, in your community, as well as with yourself. What I really appreciated with these books is they're kind of short and sweet. So super easy to read. I actually listened to both of them in German. And I also thought that the speaker or the translation of the audiobooks was really well done. And then the next one is The Beautiful No. So The Beautiful No is by Sheri Salata, and she is the former executive producer of the Oprah Winfrey Show, Harper Studio, and the OWN Network. In this book, she writes how when she left the Oprah Winfrey Show after 20 years, she realized she had the career of her dreams, but not the life of her dreams. She had dedicated decades to her dream job and loved it every minute, or almost, how she says it, but had left the rest of her life gathering dust on the shelf. She then had to learn how to turn the magic inward in order to master the ultimate challenge of rescuing and loving herself. The book is really honest, it's funny and inspiring, as well as we are learning how a no can be a wonderful opportunity and actually a yes. So last but not least, the Year of Yes. And the Year of Yes is, so kind of the subtitle is How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun and Be Your Own Person. So this book is by Shonda Rhimes, and she's the creator of Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, and the executive producer of How to Get Away with Murder. And she shares how saying yes changed her life. Who would suspect that Shonda Rhimes is an introvert? That she hired a publicist so she could avoid public appearances? that she suffered panic attacks before media interviews. With 3 children at home and 3 hit television shows, it was easy for Shonda to say she was simply too busy. But in truth, she says she was actually afraid. And then her sister tells her, "You never say yes to anything." And this was a really big wake-up call for her. So for 1 year, she said she's going to say yes to everything that scares her. And so she did. And she wrote the book. And it's really intimate. It's hilarious. And it also really teaches us that saying no can actually be a big yes. So these are the books for today. So for today, that's it. I would love to hear from you if you get around to read one or more of them and if you like them. And also send me your favorite books. I would love to get some new ones on the list and read and dive into them. As well, like I said in the beginning, we probably have a little bit more extra time than normal. So send it to your friends and your family. Maybe they also need a little bit of inspiration to read something new. And of course, as always, if you've been enjoying this episode as well as previous ones, please write a review and hit those little 5 stars over on iTunes. The next episode will be released on January 1st, and it will be a meditation to start us off into the new year. So subscribe over on your favorite app to not miss it. Thank you so much for being here on the Life Curation Podcast. Merry, Merry Christmas again to you and to your loved ones. Stay healthy and be happy.